7 max timers to not waste time. So I'm going to show you 7 different ways you can use a timer to help you be more efficient with tasks. So for this, you either need a physical timer or you can use a phone timer. And make sure to follow if you find this helpful. So let's get started. The first timer is a 20-minute focus timer. So let's say you're doing habits in your home office. So to reduce your sitting, you're going to use this. So set a 20-minute timer, and then what you want to do is you want to work in 20-minute blocks. So you set the timer, and then once this timer runs out, then you get off of your desk and then you move around. Maybe you do some stretches, you use the bathroom. So that way you're constantly moving throughout the day and you're not sitting too much. Another benefit of the 20-minute timer is this also helps practice your self-discipline and your focus because you're trying to do the full 20-minute blocks. And think of it like a game. How many 20-minute focus blocks can you do a day on your success habits? Comment below. The second timer is a break timer. So for this, it depends on what you do for your break. Like if you use the bathroom, maybe you get some water to drink, you don't need to use this. But for your breaks, if you want to maybe rest, maybe you do some scrolling, you want to set a timer. So for this, keep it simple. Like for example, let's say 5 minutes break. So after 20 minutes, you can take a 5-minute break. Or if you don't want to spend too much time on a break, maybe do it for 2 minutes or 1 minute. Because the problem with not doing this method for a break, especially if you want to do entertainment like scrolling, is that a 2-minute or 5-minute break can easily turn into a 1-hour break. So by giving yourself a time limit for a rest break after each 20 minutes, now you can avoid burnout, and it also makes sure you don't spend too much time on your breaks. So that way you can stay productive throughout the day. So 2 options for this. A max timer, or if you're just using the bathroom, maybe getting some water, maybe doing some quick workouts, just set a timer starting at 0. So either one of these works. It depends on what you do for your break. You could also do this. At the end of the day, after you finish your full habit list, then you can give yourself a bigger break. Like let's say 30 minutes or 20 minutes. And you can use that time for entertainment or just resting. But very important, timed breaks. If you don't know when to stop, then when will you stop? Think about that. The third timer is a habit timer. So for this, let's say you want to read 10 pages of a book. So what you want to do is you get a timer and then you give yourself a max time for it. So it depends on your reading speed. So let's say for me, I give myself a 15-minute timer to read the 10 pages. And this is going to help you in 2 ways. The first way, it's going to give you time pressure since you're trying to finish the habit before the timer runs out. And the second way is this also makes sure you stay on schedule so you don't spend too long on one single habit. Because there's a bunch of different habits that you need to do every day to get success in all areas of your life. So you don't want to spend too long on just one single habit. One thing to remember is the time limit you give yourself for habits. Make sure it's reasonable and make sure it's not too rushed. If it's too rushed, you might do a bad job. But just time yourself for maybe 7 days to see how long it takes you to do the habits that you want to give yourself a max time, so you can give yourself an accurate number. But just keep it simple. This is what I call the procrastination timer. So let's say the 15 minutes you're procrastinating on doing the habit. What you could do is you start a 1-minute timer and then you start fast. And then you keep going for just 1 minute. And the great thing about this is by doing this, it helps you start momentum fast. And once you're ready to do the minute, now you're more likely to do the full habit because you already started. So use this 1-minute timer idea whenever you need to start fast and get momentum. Number 5 is the high score challenge. So remember at the start of the video, we talked about working in 20-minute blocks. Now watch this. So this 20-minute blocks is for success habits, right? So imagine this. So let's say the most 20-minute blocks you did in a day is, let's say, 10 blocks. So you could say 10 20-minute focus blocks. And that's your high score, right? So 10 20-minute focus blocks, let's say, is your high score. Now watch this. Let's say you made a new high score. Let's say the next day you did 11 focus blocks. So now your new high score is 11 20-minute focus blocks. So you'd have a set amount of time a day you want to do your habits. Maybe it's 5 hours, maybe it's 8 hours. And then what you want to do is see how many 20-minute focus blocks, without getting distracted, without procrastinating, how many of those 20-minute blocks you can do in those 5 hours or 8 hours or however many hours you want to do a day for your success and money habits. So just like a video game, you're trying to beat your high score. This turns productivity into a game because you're trying to beat your high score by seeing how many focus blocks you can complete in your work day. Number 6 is a fun experiment. So you want to compare two methods. The first method is see how much you can get done in 20-minute time block. And then the second thing that you want to do is try 5-minute sprints 4 times. So how much can I get done in 5 minutes, and do that 4 separate times. And then as a fun experiment, see which one you actually got more done with. So like, do you work better with a bigger time limit or a smaller time limit? So you don't need to do that every day, but just try it today for fun. And then number 7 is a focus endurance challenge. So you want to do this once in a while, obviously not every day. And what you want to do for when you really need deep focus, you want to see how long you can stay focused for in one session. Just don't spend too long on this, like maybe don't go over 1 hour, but see how long you can stay focused for. My challenge for you is, can you stay deep focused for 1 hour? 60 minutes. Give it a try. 60 minutes deep focus timer after watching this video on your habit list. So those are the 7 max timers that you can use to stay consistent and improve your productivity. Leave in the comments below which timer method you think will help you the most.